Hi, Saurabh. Welcome to 26 Ideas Inspiration Series. Thank you so much for taking time to speak to us. For context, here we have Saurabh Vasudeva, who is the founder CEO of Fairy Tales. I'm going to let him share a little about it, but it's one of the most beautiful things and most beautiful stories I've heard. So, Saurabh, over to you for a quick introduction.
Thank you so much, Vinay. Pleased to be here, and thank you so much for having me here as part of the Inspiration series. While I've had a career that spans over 2 decades in banking, technology, healthcare, but Fairy Tales so far has been the most meaningful venture of my career and my life, and I would love to share a few more details about how we're going about it.
Lovely. Looking forward. The format is of two formats. The first format is a few questions, a little serious but fun. And the last ones, we'll try to put it in a spot where we'll ask you some rapid fire questions. So, when you're ready, I'll start.
Happiest to.
Awesome. So, like you mentioned, banking, technology, and being a founder. So, from Citibank to Bytedance to Fairy Tales, what's that WTF moment that made you leave corporate life to build a pet care empire or a business?
Sure, Vinay, happy to answer. As you know, while I've had a deep and an enriching career starting from banking way back in the year 2008 during the financial meltdown, so saw the toughest times. This just at the start of my career. Thereafter, moved to telecom technology, wherein I did had the honor of working with some of the most brilliant minds when it comes to healthcare. So I had the pleasure of advising some of the top healthcare organizations in India on the technology front, right from Apollo hospitals to Fortis, Manipal. But one thing that always was at the back of my mind is there is no standardized healthcare for pets. I myself am a parent to a 7-year-old golden retriever by the name Alex. So
Lovely.
while I was raising up Alex, I came across quite a few pertinent questions and some of the most pressing areas that every pet parent goes through during their lifetime. So my idea was to build a holistic pet care ecosystem for pets, not just touching upon one specific area, but giving the pet parents an ecosystem that at this stage, in my knowledge, doesn't exist in India. The idea was to touch upon some of the most pertinent questions like where do I take my pet during the emergencies? What if my doctor is not available? What if a place is closed during the holidays or the weekends? So, to answer all this and give the pets the holistic care and love that they deserve, did we come up with an idea of fairy tales in the year 2023, and that's where it all started from.
That's so beautiful. I'm also a pet parent. I have a Shih Tzu. He's little over 3 years now. So what a life in the house! It's amazing.
Absolutely, it is.
Fairy Tale claims to be, or is rather, India's most holistic 24/7 pet care. However, what's that one service that actually shocks people that you provide for their loved ones?
Actually, I can think of a couple, but let me
Sure.
start with the first service, which is a very, very simple service if you look at it, but is highly critical and important at the same time, which is pick up and drop and the ambulance services. What we do not
Interesting.
realize is healthcare essentially remains a physical touchpoint business, wherein there has been advancements in the field of telemedicine and teleconsultations. But still, of course, our pets cannot tell what exactly is wrong. Why are they not
Correct.
feeling okay? Right. For that, eventually you will need to get your pet to the hospital for us to run the right diagnostics and propose the right treatment protocol for your pet. So pick up and drop is one service that most of the pet parents avail with us and are highly thankful that we have this service, especially during the emergency critical hours when they do not have an access to a vehicle to get their pet
Yeah.
in time to the hospital. It can make a difference between life and death. And this is one very, very simple yet one of the most critical services that we provide, that we do get your pet from your place, get the essential services done, and drop your pet safely back to your place, right? A lot of the young couples, a lot of people who do not have time, or wherein maybe their health take care of their pets, it becomes very, very important, because some of the very critical things in emergencies cannot wait. You cannot delay the basic vaccination for your pet. At the same time,
Right.
there are some of the other supporting services, like for example grooming. Right now, this is something that we struggle to take out time for during our busy schedules, but what we make sure is our people are experienced, trained, compassionate and kind to take care of all this. If there is a doctor appointment, we do drop them back safely along with the prescription, wherein the doctor explains to our clients what exactly is the concern and what is the treatment that was being provided and how to continue that.
For sure. You worked, like you shared, with companies like Apollo Fortis, with healthcare chains like Apollo Fortis Manipal in healthcare. What's the biggest lesson you stole from human healthcare to apply to pets?
A great question, Vinay. And yeah, to be very honest, I did take quite some inspiration from all the major healthcare chains that I worked with. So, a couple of things we have also tried to emulate here at Fairy Tales. One is how strict the protocols are, the treatment protocols are. And number two, the compassion, the empathy, and the care. We normally link a healthcare chain or a hospital with a wrong or a bad experience. People take it in a negative
Correct.
connotation that you're going to the hospital with your pet, right? So, what we have been trying to do here is we have been focused along with healthcare or the treatment, we are equally focused on the hospitality factor, right? So one thing is, like, over a period of time we have set certain treatment protocols in place, wherein for example we do prioritize taking the critical cases over the non-critical cases, even if they come without an appointment. Right. At the same time, all our employees, there is one basic condition for working with Fairy Tales, that either you should be a pet parent yourself, or at least you should have that empathy and compassion that one expects.
Yes.
Right. For us, any person walking in through our doors is not just a patient, but we try and treat each pet like our own. And when you have that feeling, you do the best possible, which is in their interest and not what is in the company's interest.
You've closed mega deals for IDC, Airtel, Bytedance, enterprise sales, selling tech to CEOs. How different is it to sell holistic pet care? Uh, Pet parents are concerned about their pet, but holistic pet care, which is the 360 approach, how difficult is that to sell that to pet parents?
Uh, so my answer to that would be, since you know that nobody is doing what we are trying to do here in India. So of
Correct.
course, when a new pet parent comes to us, not everyone does trust us right from day one, because they feel they've got all the services under the same roof. So it is more
Yeah.
like a generalized place. It is over there, over a period of time, once they experience all our services, do they realize that we only run the services with the best possible minds. Uh, Healthcare is the cornerstone of what we do, and hiring good vets that cover all specialties, right from medicine to soft tissue, some of the orthopedic and other critical life-saving trauma surgeries, becomes the most important part. Having said that, some of the other support services, some of the other beneficiary services, like for example grooming, boarding, right, it all eventually ties into each other. All these services feed into each other, right? For
Yeah.
example, now there are a lot of pet boarding services, right? There are some other training services as well. But while you leave your loved ones under their care, what happens in case there is a pet emergency, right? You leave your dog,
Correct.
for example, in boarding for 1 week, and God forbid there is a medical emergency, then who do they go to, right? So we have tried
Correct.
to think holistically. We are trying to cover the entire life cycle of a pet, from the time they are born to the time they are there with us.
Lovely. So I'm going to move to the next section, Saurabh. It's going to be rapid fire, 5 questions. You don't have time to think, so don't cheat on that. What's the first thing that's going to come to your mind when we ask that? Fair?
Sure. Okay.
Here we go. Cats or dogs?
Both, I would say.
First hire at Fairy Tales, vet marketer or ops ninja?
Definitely a vet. Rather, our first hire was actually a vet. That her name is Dr. Medha Rao. She's the head of our medical practice, and we hired her 3 months before Fairy Tales was to open, just
Yeah.
because we knew that she is not just one of the best vets in the city of Goa, but also has a right moral compass that is
That's
extremely
true.
important in a business like ours.
Bigger challenge: fundraising or finding good vets?
Finding good vets.
One corporate skill you will never use again.
I think the over-engineered PowerPoints
Yeah.
that we used to share. Of course, that's
Yeah.
the more professional way to go about it.
Fantastic. Saurabh, it has been an absolute pleasure speaking to you, hearing your story and love and compassion, and actually inspiring that how over time humans have evolved healthcare for humans. You've taken that learning over history, over time, and actually put that in practice in Goa for pets. So, as a pet parent, I couldn't be more happier and wish many more. We do have a fantastic vet here, Dr. Swali, who's like a parent to Milo. But I know that Bombay and other cities in the country could definitely do. So, we're routing for you, both as a friend, well wisher, and a pet parent. Good luck to Fairy Tales.
Thank you so much, Vinay. Again, I'm grateful to have been made a part of this series, and I hope my 2 cents today could inspire a few more people to be more compassionate towards the one who need us the most. Thank you so much for having me over today.